Welcome to the end of day review for Wednesday, the 17th of January 2024. As usual, we'll kick off with the calendar. What we have is GBP CPI red folder significant news that came out at Frankfurt Open that was positive for the GBP, and as a result of this, we saw GBP USD trade to the long side with quite a bit of momentum. This was great. It aligned with our trading bias for the day. But yeah, I guess ultimately we weren't able to get into a trade. And then moving on to the New York session, we had retail sales, which was positive for the USD, signaling GBP USD short. So there was a bit of conflict between what the GBP news was and then the USD news suggested. However, there weren't much trading opportunities, and I'll explain why shortly. I just want to start on a daily chart to paint the picture. What we can see is we did come from a confirmed market structure point. However, the 4-hour has body broken this swing structure point, and as a result we are in unconfirmed pro trend scenario, with the pro trend probably being moving to the short side. In terms of other use cases for the daily, what we can see is we have 1, 2, 3 consecutive bearish candles that are closed, and thus it was more likely than not that today would print as a bullish candle and only longs were valid for today. Then moving on to the 4-hour chart, what I can indicate here is the fact that we did body break this, suggesting to us that the pro trend confirmed leg was invalid, and now we're in unconfirmed territory. And in order to take any long positions, we need 4H backing. In terms of pro trend previously confirmed OBs that we could look for to support trading long, this was the only OB, and as you can see, it didn't quite reach this point. It was actually a long ways away, but ultimately we broke this substructure in this OB, forming this new leg and validating new substructure in a new 4H OB that follows the pro trend unconfirmed, or rather the pro trend previously confirmed primary leg bias. We did come back into this 4H OB, which does support for us to continue trading longs. The only issue being that at this point we've already moved beyond ADR for the day, and trying to take another long on the assumption that we'll take out the high doesn't really make sense. So yeah, that's just one thing to consider. Also, to point out the fact that we've got this body break could mean one of two things: either the market's coming down to grab this liquidity, as you can see there's a whole bunch of relative equal lows, to then fuel the move to the upside, or alternatively it's actually changing direction, which each of which we don't know for certain, which is why our trading going forward, until we have a confirmed scenario again, will require that we have 4H backing to all 15, 30 and 5-minute trade ideas. Substructured targets will be considered significant targets, and we have to have IRL visible on the time frame we're trying to trade from in order to trade in that particular direction. Having said all of that, I'll move on to the 15 minutes and explain what happened here. So at Frankfurt Open, we had positive inflation rate news for the GBP USD, in the sense that it was greater than actual, and we saw GBP USD skyrocket to the upside. Like I said, there wasn't any opportunity for longs because there's no 4H backing, and we in this unconfirmed state at the moment. Then we came back in the New York session into this 4H OB, and whilst you could argue that you can now generate your secondary leg to then look for a trade opportunity, the issue now is that we've got positive USD news, and this suggests that GBP USD should be short. So there's a conflict in terms of trading direction. Over and above that, we've already moved beyond the daily range being 80 to 85 pips recently for January 2024. So expecting that price will continue to take out the high in the current day is just, for an intraday trade, it doesn't really make sense. And then in terms of saying that you're potentially catching the low of the week, well, that doesn't make sense, because we're not in a pro-trend confirm scenario, so this swing target right here is highly questionable and not high probability at all. That's pretty much my end of day review. I haven't taken any trades this week. Something may set up later in the week, but until then I'm being patient. I'm waiting for things to settle, and then we will go from there. Other than that, have a good day, and we'll chat again for tomorrow's London outlook.